Welcome to another supplemental episode of the Apocalypse Quickly. And since you have unwisely chosen the Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you a bloody gain. I wonder, and I've been wondering this for a while now, Are they trying to keep us in? I notice the Reich kicking many people out, lest you be a white South African. Then you're welcome with open arms. We'll pay all your bills. And I mean all of them. No problem. If your skin is but a slightly darker hue, then it's Autenzi for you. Obviously, that's how the Reich feels. Since racial profiling is now open upon our streets, via men in masks with machine guns stop anyone brown. That is where we are at. Handing people free money. If they are not white South African, is wrong, is socialism, is a handout, is welfare. But if you happen to be white South African, then we'll pay all your bills. As we throw the darker complected man in the gulag, one of hundreds. As that is the current scenario, I am also wondering this. When Leon was co-chancellor, right in the beginning, I noticed they really targeted the TSA and the flights and all that. And I said back then, I asked the question back then, are they trying to keep us in or something? What's this bullshit? Leon did have a problem with the TSA fining him or something because of his SpaceX bullshit, all paid for by you, by the way. And the money that goes in his pocket. That's yours too. Only profits he ever made, son. Ever in his life. Welfare from you. Greasy Pete, same thing. They may have had a lemonade stand when they were kids. I don't know. Then it wouldn't. That would have been profits as well, but that's not what I'm talking about. So right at the beginning, Leon went right after the flights. I noticed they were fucking with they laid off a lot of people, air traffic controllers and stuff. Laid off so many via AI because it ain't humans doing it. This is the big magic solution to everything. Just put AI in the computer, let it boss people around, say they're committing fraud when they're not, say they have guns when they don't, utterly imperfect technology. Dangerous. And I'm seeing that in everyday life with people. So the solution always is, this was the big idea by all the tech bros that took all the welfare, because they can't succeed otherwise. Just government AI, business AI, your life AI, everything AI. It will do everything for you. Problem is, it almost got a kid killed the other day, saying he had a gun when he didn't. That's the goddamn problem with AI, son. Thinking it's a solution to everything. It sure as fuck isn't. Once again, the richest people in the world mold our culture and world and direct us down this road of fucking AI. Again, it almost got a kid killed the other day. So the AI went crazy and laid off many people involved with flying in this country. right at the beginning. Then the Reich said, oh shit, we've just crippled the whole system. We got to hire some of those people back. We got to at least make it look good. But all I've seen since that point is deterioration, and it's starting to seem, I don't know, intentional, of the flight system in this country. We're at a shutdown right now, and several groups involved in flights are not getting paid. They already had a bunch laid off. We started seeing more accidents. We started seeing taking a flight take longer. We started seeing even worse understaffing than already was before, because no company staffs their business appropriately, son, not one. It's all bare bones all the time, 24 hours a day, and that's intentional. Now that we're at the shutdown, it's even worse. And I just have this one, I've been seeing posts like this, and it's, you know, it's making me think we have the idiot Sean Duffy in charge of transportation. He was from fucking Road Rules or something? I don't even remember. So Sean Duffy said, he warned Friday that the government could force airlines to cut up to 20% of flights if the shutdown did not end, as U.S. airlines on Friday scrambled to make unprecedented blah, blah, blah. All right, so they're going to shut down more flights. And is this some kind of punishment for the American public, or was this the plan all along? That's the question I'm asking. Berlin, when Russia owned half and America owned half. If you lived on the Russian side, well, they had men with guns that if you tried to leave, you know, how dare you as a human being want to leave fucking Berlin, the Russian side? How dare you? What do you think, you have rights or something, son? If you tried to leave, they would stop you. People had to sneak out. That's the thing about dictatorships. No freedom of travel. Why? Because, little children, dictatorships are cruel and brutal. And even the rubes of whatever day and era, even they don't like it. They pretend they do. They pretend it's great because they helped make it happen and they don't want to die. Some of them might even be down. But no one ever likes it, son. That's why North Korea, Russia, China, and other places, you don't just get to leave, son. You think you have rights? Oh, no, son, you have no rights. And I'm wondering, is America turning into that right now? Is the government ever going to open again? I've been saying for a while, I don't think it's going to reopen. Maybe that was the plan. They knew how to make a shutdown happen. Put forth some horrid, despicable, satanic legislation that no one would dare agree to, because they want to steal the Obamacare money. They want that in their pocket. The Reich, I mean, specifically. And that's what all this is. So the Democrats either say, okay, we'll let you destroy Obamacare so you can pocket the money, you and your criminal cohorts, or no. Again, do you think it was coincidence that all of a sudden the Reich comes to town, and now insurance premiums regarding Obamacare specifically go up 600-700%? You think that wasn't a plan, son, with the companies and the government, or the Reich, excuse me, specifically? Because not everyone in government's in the Reich. Of course it was. They've been wanting to pocket that ACA money for fucking decades, son. What are they offering? Oh, well, what George Bush and the Republicans were offering before, a $2,000 check to go buy a fucking policy. Then when you go to the doctor, you're on your fucking own. Whatever garbage insurance you can buy for that, horrible fucking coverage. You're handing just socialism for the healthcare companies. That's all it's ever been. Every time they say this, spout the same idea. We'll give you a voucher. Public schools, the same Republican satanic idea. We'll give you a voucher so you can go to what school you want to go. Problem is, poor kids can't go 100 miles away to the better school, son. The rich person can. So what is a voucher? School system, federally mandated. Socialism's for the rich, handouts to rich people that send their kids to private schools. All the money goes to the rich again, and then it goes to some private school, which is a private business, basically. The healthcare shit, the same thing. They hand you a check, you hand it directly to some fucking insurance company. Socialism for billion-dollar insurance companies. Sounds like a great idea, right? Problem is, it ain't socialism for you, son. Isn't that funny? They love socialism when it goes to billionaires. Just skip your ass altogether. Here's a check for you that you're just going to hand right to an insurance company. And you have to. Can't go buy a car with it. Not that they'd give you enough to do that. They wouldn't goddamn dare, son. This is right-wing politics we're talking. Purely of Satan. Since it began. Why do you think right-wingers go after liberals for decades? Why do you think that is? The persecution. Why? Because liberals and the liberal ideology stands in the way of what class? What ideology? Specifically, fascism. What has right-wing politics been the entire time? Fascism. Nazism in America disguised the entire time, son. I'm talking about the modern era. Please don't bring up Lincoln. I'm way too smart for that, son. This is not Alex Jones. Again, you maggots out there would present what I just said as worshiping liberal ideology or something. Again, I ain't you, son. That don't work on me. The liberal ideology, although not perfect, is much closer to Christ than you ever been by a damn sight, son, in your right-wing pseudo-Nazi world. Ever. That's the reality of this world. Again, is the liberal ideology perfect? Absolutely fucking not. Is it closer to Christ and what he would preach and do? Oh, fuck yeah, it is. By light years. So again, class, I'll ask this question as well one more time. Why does the right-wing thing across the world need to persecute the liberal ideology? Eliminate it from the planet. That's what they've been trying to do. The right wing of every country, pretty much. Because again, class, the liberal ideology is the only thing that stands between fascism and success. That's why Adolf Hitler, class, little children, locked up the liberals first. That's why the liberal type people are being persecuted first here and will be locked up first here. That's why they are the enemy. What are they the enemy of? Fascism. Can you believe in the year of our Lord, son, 2025? Men and women got up in front of a camera, one of them with a load of shit in his diaper, and said, anyone who identifies as anti-fascist is a terrorist. You live in backwards world, son. Do you understand that now? The anti-fascist ideology, if you dare endorse it or believe it, has somehow become evil, Rubes. Can you believe it? And you preach that gospel. That backwards ass, inverted, satanic, utterly gospel. That the anti-fascist ideology, that we don't want a king, we don't want a Caesar, because we're not weak-minded fucking rubes like you. And this is America, where we don't play that type shit unless rubery wins the day. And boy, did it on January 20th. And that's why your country's over, son. Forever, never coming back. But again, my point. Can you believe, son? They've talked a percentage of the public into thinking that if you don't like fascism, you know, like Adolf Hitler, that type shit, you're evil. You're doing something wrong. You're a terrorist. So we can persecute you further. If not kill you, if not execute you, if not lock you up forever, because that's what they do with terrorists, right? Except the ones on Jan 6 and their ringleader in orange face. Those terrorists, they get pardoned. Direct coup against our government. Another inversion. Traitors to our nation in service of a con man. He just pardoned them. He calls them patriots. The leader of the coup. And they actually said out loud on camera, and the rubes went like this. Anti-fascism bad. As they watched all their pro-Second Amendment shows over the decades, and I watched them put in the comment section how much they hate tyranny, and they love the Constitution, and family values, and Jesus, and guns. Now you got the Reich you've always dreamed of. Where's them fighting words now, son? Oh, it's on your team. As long as it's your king, then a king is fine. So there goes any belief in the Constitution or this experiment of a country we live in. You just ended it. And yes, it will hurt you too. Don't worry. Just give it time. So yeah, they actually said out loud, and there are humans on this planet that preach the same message and shook their head in agreement. Anti-fascism bad. Anti-fascism means terrorism. Why? Because we're fascists. We're Nazis. We're of Satan. That's the route we plan on going. We can't have anti-fascist ideology. You mean God, Caesar, Emperor, Dictator isn't acceptable to the masses? Why, it's such a great idea. Yeah, for 20 families in Caesar before he kills them all. And they kill each other. Because that's what happens in Rome, son. Unfucking believable the inversion that has taken place. Unbelievable that there are humans that are going along with, yeah, if you don't want a king, if you don't want a Caesar dictator that can lock you up for anything just because you looked at him wrong, you're a terrorist. That's where we fucking at, son. Can you believe it? So what did Dan Goldman say? Let's go back to Dan. When pilots say controllers are overworked and safety data shows rising risk, leaders should act, not threaten more flight cuts. Trump and Duffy are gambling with lives to score political points. Reopen the government, restore full operations, pay our aviation workers right. But I'm not seeing an urgency to reopen, almost like it's never going to be open. And that was the plan. I'm starting to feel that way. More and more damage to the flight system. And I wonder if that's added bonus to all this that they were looking for from the beginning, since they laid off so many people involved with flights. And I've been wondering this for a while. It's just getting worse and worse. The accidents, the delays, the cancellations. People don't even want to go to work now because they're not being paid. So I gotta ask again, we're being isolated trade-wise. We've alienated pretty much all of our major allies in trade and in war. We're moving towards North Korea and Russia and Saudi Arabia and people like that as our allies, Turkey. So we're being isolated that way. We're being subjugated via the military, and our cities, our own military that you people pay for. Concentration camps. U.S. citizens getting rounded up by masked men as well as illegal aliens. Utter degradation of the flight system. When you know you're about to build a nefarious Reich, like Adolf, like Vlad and his predecessors, like the North Koreans, like the Chinese, like Argentina, like El Salvador. Do you want people to have freedom of movement, be able to just pick up and leave the country? Because in a normal world, once the fascism began showing, there would be an exodus from the country. That would leave the fascist there holding his cock by himself, wouldn't it? And no one's life to ruin. For Satan, of course. Who else? So you can't allow people to leave. Is that what they're doing here? The Reich, I mean specifically. I don't like saying they. I'm not you people out there that do broadcasting. Is the Reich trying to keep us in? Not that many people can even afford a flight, the percentage of the population. To another country, you're talking at least $1,000. Just for the flight. Unless you get some kind of special deal. You're going into another country, son. So most people can't even afford that. But a significant portion of the population, if they had to flee real quick, they got scared, maybe they could get out. Then there's the passport issues. That costs money. That takes time unless you do an expedited process for a passport, which I did many years ago. I think mine's expired by now, though. And expediting a passport, that ain't cheap. It comes quick, 3-4 days. Not cheap, son. That ain't for poor people. You go through the regular process, at least 6 weeks, at least. Probably longer. Are they trying to keep us in? Dare I ask the question? Because again, one more time, when you're building an authoritarian, evil, nefarious Reich regime, whatever you want to call it, you can't allow people to leave. Is that where this is going? Because they're threatening even more cuts now, more cancellations, and they seem in no hurry to open the government, almost as if this plays into their dictatorial favor, their desired outcome. Hey, the government been closed for 4 months, if we get that far. Let's just keep it that way. Dictatorship. Could very well go that way. Do you see them rushing to open, negotiate, anything? I'm talking about the right, people on the right. Donnie's people. Nope, not at all. They starving you at the same time, too. Still haven't distributed your food money. Told states, I read that to you last night. Told states that they have to, stop any distribution of that money. Maybe take it back. That's how strong the desire is to starve you. Take a breath, stop, and realize where you're at, all of you, whether you're starving or not. The Reich is intentionally starving the population. They took it to the Supreme Court, son. The money has still not been dispersed, even partial. A serious moment. And it's intentional, obviously. Do you believe it's a Reich now? Do you believe they're of Satan now? Do you believe they believe in eugenics now? I don't remember the liberals ever going to the Supreme Court to starve you. But I know they're the evil ones, right? Right. That's why your country's over. So one, are they trying to keep us in? Two, they are intentionally starving you, and how anyone cannot say that or say otherwise, I don't know, when the right goes to the Supreme Court. What does that say? We really want to starve you motherfuckers. We need it. We need riots. Trying to go full fucking Adolf here, and that is not the slightest exaggeration. And they gonna go full Adolf, don't worry. The facade drops more by the day. Donnie gets impatient. He saw his message to Pam. We got to start arresting people, Pam. I'm going to put this Halligan, younger, prettier woman. I'm going to call her up off the bench. Pam. We need to start arresting my enemies. How dare they prosecute me for being a criminal and only hold me slightly accountable in the least? How dare they? Donnie never got cuffs slapped on him. That was intentional because Donnie did not want cuffs slapped on him. Do you hear me? The rest of you out there that gave him that free pass, he will not be even remotely as kind as you were to you. You're seeing that now that you all have cases against you. And don't worry, more of you will have cases against you because this thing is of Satan and you did not take it seriously enough. And by you especially, I mean Merrick Garland. It wasn't Biden's job to prosecute. It wasn't Biden's job to get on mic and tell Garland to prosecute. It was Garland's job to fucking prosecute. He did not. Wasted 2 years, kicked it off to somebody else. Wasted 2 more years. They never wanted to put him in prison. They were afraid to set that precedent. It was obvious after the first year. They were afraid of retaliation is one reason. 2, just for the masses in general, they don't want to set that precedent of the king can go to prison. That's a dangerous precedent to set. So again, 1, I'm asking the question, are they trying to keep us in? Look at the condition of the flights. Look at their urgency to reopen the government. And by they, again, I mean the Reich. And you know who the members of the Reich are. Donnie and his cabinet and more. In Congress, the Senate. All of them. They will never impeach him, so get that idea out of your fucking head. These people have bent over loyal for 10 years. Even when Donnie wasn't president, he was running Mikey in the closet Johnson. There will be no impeachments, nothing like that. These people are way too spineless for that. And by these people, I mean the right-wingers in government. No way you're going to get the right-wing majority Congress, the right-wing majority Senate to impeach and convict that motherfucker for any of the million crimes. Not going to happen. The only solution, in my opinion, to this obvious criminality deploying the U.S. military against us, the military should have stepped in the second he did it, because everyone knows he had no legitimate reason to do it. Military should have stepped in, just arrested him. No elections, we start over from scratch. That's what should have happened. Because once a dictator has the keys, he is the law. So if you expect these people to 25th Amendment him, will not happen. You expect these people, right-wingers in government, to impeach him, will never happen. And the Democrats do not have the power, so we're riding this out. And it's going to get so ugly. Ugly's not even a strong enough word. It already is ugly, way past that. And there's one more thing I wanted to mention because I forgot. The reason Donnie targets specific industries and calls them out publicly. Let me go back to the cattle rancher thing, and I'll just read a little bit of one of them so I can make my point. And this post too, last night that I read you, or the other night, we will target everything from car affordability to housing affordability. I will instruct my cabinet that I expect results within the first 100 days or much sooner. That's another 2 more industries, housing and cars. I've asked the DOJ immediately to begin an investigation into the meatpacking companies, the cattle ranchers, all that. I read you those comments the other day. But I also explained to you over these months that Donnie has been in charge and before the election. You want the right to do business in this country, be you foreigner, American business, drug cartel out there in South America somewhere? They ain't blowing up them fishermen for nothing. They sending a message. Not just to Venezuela. Donnie already offered Mexico, hey, can we put some troops in your country? We'll take on the cartels for you. Scheinbaum's like, fuck you. Deployed our military against us. What the fuck do you think he's going to use them for in Mexico to take it over? Of course. That's why Scheinbaum told him to fuck off. But that's not the point here. Why did he call out the cartels month after month? Why is he blowing up fishermen? 1, he wants Venezuelan oil, but 2, he's sending a message to all the drug cartels. I'm Caesar, I'm God, I run the world. If you want to do business, you want to bring your drugs into the United States, you pay me, son. Tribute. The car industry, the housing industry, cattle ranchers. There's a reason he called you out specifically. Haven't you noticed a pattern? I certainly have. Whenever he calls out certain industries, the tech bros, whatever, or specific company, that means come pay me tribute or just pay me tribute in general. And that always means money, son. Always. You saw Tim Apple. You saw Google. You saw Meta. You saw him hand that green over. Tribute. I told you before the election. That's how Donnie thinks. That's how he thought the first term. He just couldn't get it as much off the ground. There were more checks and balances. All federal dollars, I told you this, Donnie sees as his money. Caesar sees as his money. He went through all the various industries, the schools, cars, housing, beef, farmers. He's ruined them with tariffs. And still, did you get your money yet, farmers? You get your socialist handout yet? No? You voted for it. The meat packing, you voted for it. When Donnie calls you out, be a college, a business, a drug cartel in another country, that means come pay me tribute. That's another knock on the door, son. I tried to tell you. If you want the right, again, think like a mobster, like a mob boss, a very typical cliche one. Protection rackets all around the world, everywhere we had troops. For the past 5 months, what has Donnie been saying? We got troops over there protecting you. You got a nice country here. Wouldn't want nothing to happen to it. We're providing security. Where's my check? Typical neighborhood protection racket where you go to walk around to the stores, say, you got a nice store here, you're doing good business, you need protection. This is a dangerous neighborhood, 1,000 a day. Or we break your legs. You choose. Or maybe, you have maybe a fire happens, you never know. That's the mob, man. Ice fucking cold. So picture it on a global scale. That's how Donnie looks at this planet. You want the right to do business, especially in America, son. You pay me. I don't care how big or small you are. Our troops are in South Korea. Our troops are in Europe. Our troops are in Germany, or were. Our troops are here or there. Oh, well, we're protecting you. You got to pay me or I'm pulling them. And again, those troops were never there for those parts of the world or protection of other countries. Those troops were there in case Vlad started some shit somewhere or Russia started some shit. We have a jump off point to hit them quick. That's it. I don't know if you noticed, since 1945, the main goal of America militarily was stop the spread of communism. Russia taking over more territories. That's all. That's all it's been. But again, the mobster mentality, which Vlad is, and Donnie wants to be. He's always wanted to be. He's been mob his whole life. He's applying the mob philosophy, a very generic, cliche one that we see in the movies, to America, to the globe. And it's fucking obvious. Protection racket, tribute. What did you see in some of the mob movies? A line of men and women with gifts and money to hand to the head Don. Because that's what you do. And I realized what the mob was based on. It was based on Rome and the Caesars. That instead it just applies to a family in a country. The Don of the area, whatever his territory, you come pay him tribute, son, as if he were Caesar, because he is Caesar. So the Italian mob basically is just based on the Roman Caesars. That's all it was. They just moved it to America. Nazi Germany based on Rome, based on the Roman Legion, that whole thing. Territorial expansion, take over the world, be an empire. So you've got a typical, very stupid mobster who the chickens gave the keys to the fox, who applies that philosophy wherever our military is in foreign countries, foreign bases. You pay us for that. Um, if you want to do business in America or around the world, you major companies. Donnie thinks he runs the world. I want to make that clear, not just America. You pay tribute to the Don, you can do whatever you want. So the cattle ranchers, the car makers, the housing industry, it's time to pay the Don again. That's what he's telling you. And again, all you people that own these big businesses and you wanted tax cuts and you've been voting Republican this whole time, you don't care about the evil that it spreads, the fascism, the racism, none of it. The greed, the evil, the Satan. You just wanted it to benefit you personally. I know. Fuck everybody else. That's why your country's over, son. Because eventually, when you keep voting evil, the bill is due. Now the bill's due for the world. It's apocalypse time. I don't want it to be. This isn't fun for me. So again, one, are they trying to keep us in via fucking up the flight industry? Because it's sure starting to feel that way. Are they ever going to reopen the government? It doesn't look like the Reich really wants to. They could just move it right on over to dictatorship. Hey, the government was already closed, right, Roops? And hey, it's your dictator, right? I'm sure he won't hurt you, right? Right. Are they trying to keep us in? I'm really wondering this. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Protection racket, subjugation of America, the American population. Every time he mentions companies, schools, major colleges, they throw him a bunch of money and he leaves them alone for a minute, but he always comes back. He's taken tribute from the world as if he is Caesar. He's head of the Holy Land via the Board of Peace. He's in charge. He's about to take Venezuela's oil. He has deployed the military against us. He has deployed a mass goon squad of Nazis. Many aren't even white, yet they doing a Nazi's work, son. Isn't that amazing? Kidnapping whoever they want. And if you dare question them, film them, whatever, they may grab you, even though you're an American citizen. And now you're being intentionally starved. Yeah, people, this ain't looking good for anyone. And I know the rich, the cattle ranchers, all different type CEOs, the tech people, Sundar, Zuckerberg, Tim Apple, Gates. I don't know. He's coming at you guys for a lot of money, huh? Those three billionaires I mentioned the other day. One named Miriam. Is her last name Adelson or something? Again, I said before the election, he never stopped knocking on your door. He thinks he's Caesar. He expects tribute from the entire world. So when you're mentioned, get the checkbook out, son. That's what you voted for. Don't cry about it now. And I know the majority of people that have money, real money, a couple million, they all voted for this fucking thing. Almost all of them. And I said before the election, he'll never stop knocking on your door. You're watching it play out. I expect some cattle people, some housing people, some car people to hook Donnie up in the near future. And then maybe he leaves him alone for a minute. But don't worry, he'll be back next month. He does this every a group of industries or college, or it's just it's a circle. It just keeps going. The monster just keeps coming back for more, more, more. I begged you not to do it. I know you knew better. I'm just a guy in a car with sunglasses. How could I know anything? I don't have a $9,000 suit on and 8 mistresses. I don't have 4 houses. I can't hop in my private jet, so I must know nothing, right? We'll see who knows what. At the lake, son. We'll see who knew what. And again, I don't want you to go in, but you chose that path. I can't control you. You've got free will. God can't control you. You have free will, but there comes a limit where God must weigh you and say, what did he do with his free will? Did he take the mark? Did he follow the beast to the abyss? Did he persecute? We're all going to come to that moment where we are weighed. This right now, everything I just yelled at you, what you're seeing on a daily basis for the past 10 years especially, has all been a test for you. Did you pass? Did you fail? Are you going to follow Donnie all the way to the abyss, just like the idiots in Germany did with Adolf back in the day, till their country was ash and owned by other nations? Only this time it will be much worse. It won't just be a country lost. The entire world will be lost until the man saves it. Unfortunately, a lot of suffering before then, for good and bad people alike. All because a percentage of this globe chose Satan, chose the apocalypse. They saw it and they liked it. I wish they didn't like it. Then we'd still have a country. Then we'd still have a world. And my God, if again, why I've been yelling for 10 years, if you think you've seen how dark it can get, if you think it can't get much more evil and darker, you are wrong. It will. I take no joy saying that. This is just what I know, and I have known before 10 years ago, if this person ever came along. This demon called the Antichrist. It appears he has come along. Therefore, it will go to unimaginable dark places. As if it already hasn't, but again, if you think this is as bad as it can get, it's going to get a lot worse. So again, buckle the fuck up. It's all you can do. This has to play out now. It was allowed to take hold. It was allowed to be, or it was enabled. There's no going back now. I fucking wish there was. Have a wonderful day.